the Port Harcourt refinery and all the other refineries, and we'll talk about that and look at the economic advantage of having our refineries working. And then the 5 o'clock hour, I've got this data I'd like to share with you. Remember, this is hard facts, and so we deal with the facts. I would share with you this data, and I'd like to get your interpretation. I'd like to see how you look at the statistics, and we will talk for development for sure. Welcome. So without further ado, let's get into the big stories making the rounds. I've got the first one. I'm like, everybody's talking about this on X, on Facebook, generally in social media. Everybody's talking about it, and it is that Labour has suspended its strike. It did this morning after a meeting with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And according to the Labour leaders, the President made certain promises. He made certain commitments. He talked about fixing the refinery, or rather, the refinery will be working by December 2023. That's not the first time we're getting to hear that date. Mele Kyari has made reference to that date. Timi Prisiva also made reference to that date. So the president has come out to re-echo December 2023 that the refineries will be working. He also made certain pledges to the organized labor, concerning workers' welfare, concerning all other things. But see, some of us were arguing at the time that do you think labor is really about the working of the refineries? Because if they were about the working of the refineries, could they have pushed on the argument till December 2023, given that we've had several dates as to when our refineries will be up and running? But hey, how are you reacting? How are you reacting to the move by Labour to call off the strike? Is it the right move for you? Is it the right move? I'd like to hear from you, really, when I do open the phone lines. But then there is also this conversation, the second big story, still on the labor protest. They say they are not on strike, but like I would argue, why I call it protest come strike is this. You can't be on the streets and be at work at the same time. So anyhow you want to look at it, I know we like technicalities in Nigeria, and so Labour is also towing that path of technicality. I get the point. But hey, the federal government has filed a contempt suit against Labour. Hey, you know what you do for me? I would really love us if we can push this conversation on social media as well. So I'm going to take time out now and ask you to go on Facebook if you can, if you've got enough data, if you've got Facebook account and you're social media savvy. I would ask you to go there and let's while we are pushing the conversation on radio, we should also be able to push it on social media. And I'll tell you why. We want to be able to break the barrier. Radio has got few locations, River State and neighboring states, but on social media we can push the conversation further and farther. And so I'd like you to go there if you can. Nigerian Info PH, Twitter or X, Nigerian Info PH, and YouTube, Nigerian Info PH. We're live on Facebook and YouTube and active on X or Twitter. So just continue the conversations there, right? So as I was saying about Labour versus the federal government, it sounds like a football match, or it sounds like a boxing match. Federal government has filed a contempt suit against Labour, saying, hey, we told you that you can't go on strike. It is illegal for you to go on strike because there is a court order, there is a ex parte order restricting you from downing tools or going on an industrial action. And they attached the court order of 5th June to their contempt notice to Labour, and told Labour that Labour would have to answer for this because they have now gone on strike, or they did go on strike as of yesterday. But Labour has replied. Like I told you, Labour is doing technicality. Yeah, I know where they lent it from, and you know where they lent it from as well. Technicality. And like I said, it's a boxing match, and in a boxing bout, you know, there's certain technicalities that you would use to down your opponent. And Labour is saying, you know what, fine, it's cool. You want us to answer for contempt, right? We'll go to court. But hey, every Labour member, every affiliate union would also have to down tools and appear any day that they have to be, that Labour has to be in court for that contempt suit. Labour is not going down easy this time. But you know, the question is, first, why is federal government doing this? I think there's the agency. I can't remember the agency. Why are they doing this now? Given that the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria had the consultative meeting with Labour. They talked about the presidential address on Monday and several other issues, and they came to an agreement. So why don't you just, you know, sheath your sword? Why I'm asking? Why don't you sheath your sword? Hey, I'm wondering why federal government is looking for blood this wonderful day of the Lord, so to say. But then again, if Labour knew they were going to, you know, listen to negotiations, why were they not patient a little bit? I mean, all of these legal tussles would not have been there if Labour had just been patient and, you know, were able to seek a meeting with the president like they've done. But what do I know? So Labour is saying that they have met with the president. They also met with the National Assembly. Remember, yesterday, Ali Ndume was the one who addressed them and promised, you know, that they were going to have an extensive conversation on the issues that Labour should, you know, pipe low, should take a chill pill. And Labour has now taken a chill pill. All right, so that's that for FG versus Labour. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that, by the way. FG filing a contempt suit against Labour for not obeying the industrial court order. Hey, FG, should I talk? Anyways, moving on. This other one says the third big story. Tinubu's cabinet size now somewhere within the region of 67. Not even somewhere, it's now 67, or even more. I think it's more. But if you remember that we had 20, you know, advisors and assistants that were, you know, appointed by the president earlier in his administration, you know, when he sent a letter to the National Assembly for them to approve the 20 nominees at the time, or appointees at the time. So he now has 47 ministerial nominees. So 47 plus 20 equals 67, if my maths is correct, right? 67. And if that be the case, my mind is going back to Femi Gbajabiamila's comments. I remember when he was addressing the media after after a conversation with Labour? I think their first meeting, you know, and Femi Gbajabiamila said that there might be an expansion of ministries. There might be an expansion and there might be a collapse of other ministries. But right now we've got 47 and it looks like it might be the highest ever. The highest ever. And then I'm thinking, I thought we were supposed to cut down on the cost of governance. I thought we're supposed to ensure that we save enough money. The president told you and I, you know, to sacrifice, and I thought, you know, the government would also sacrifice, because hey, like someone said yesterday, was it my guess? Yeah, my guess. He said yesterday, for every minister that has been appointed or employed, there is the corresponding cost to that. So their offices might be decorated, they have to pay them salaries and allowances, right? They have to buy them official cars. And that's why he was asking, some of them are governors, why do they need new cars? You know, some of them were bought cars with state money and taxpayers' money. So why do they need new cars? But that's the system in the country. So they will get new cars, right? I wonder what they do with all of these cars. They can ride in all of them, right? But what do I know? So the point is, it's going to come with a corresponding cost, right? But if we say we are cutting down the cost of governance, do we need this much ministers? And that's the question I'm asking. Are they much? Or, I mean, You can look at it from the other spectrum. Nigeria's problems are mammoth, large, huge. I mean, use all the quantifying words to quantify what I'm thinking right now. But Nigeria's problems are great, wonderful, big. So maybe we need all hands on deck. And how do we do that if we don't have as many people in the cabinet, advising, negotiating, thinking, putting action to words and all of that stuff? All right, so it's time for me to open the phone lines. My job, I need to remind you once again, my job is to tell you this is what is happening, that is what is happening. I'm not allowed to put my thoughts on the issues. I could argue from left or right or center, but just to ensure that we've got a quality conversation, not necessarily what I'm thinking. I'm just going to argue from all the sides because I'm the anchor. And you help me push the conversation for development once again to ensure that we have a thorough roundtable conversation. 0817. I'm looking at the clock. 23 minutes gone past the hour of 3. I've got a commercial. Yeah, I've got a commercial in about 2 minutes, but I'm still going to reel out the numbers so you can, either start dropping your messages on Facebook, on WhatsApp, or Twitter, or even YouTube. Or better still, you could just wait on the line pending when this commercial break will be over. The commercial break will be over in what? About 3 minutes? Yeah, or even less. So just chill. Your calls will come through. Remember the numbers are 0817 923 0002. That's the first number to ring me with. The second one is 0817 923 0003. So start the numbers. So, when I open the phone line, you'll be the first to call in. But hey, you can send me WhatsApp messages to the number 0809 030 6416. Once again, 0809 030 6416. On Facebook, Nigerian 58, a reminder that we're live, as well as on YouTube, and we active on Twitter. Same handle, so to say. All right, quick commercial break. I am Kalada Korubatibo, and this is Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Big stories. three. I'm waiting to hear you talk about Labour calling off their strike, and also I'm waiting to hear you talk about what you think about the federal government's contempt suit against Labour, and also I'd like to hear you talk about I'd like to hear you talk about the cabinet size of the president. 67 it is. I've got Sharon, and Sharon is calling me from Elipranwo. All right, so before I get to take Sharon's call, remember you can also join the conversation 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Oh, Sharon, you wait for me. All right, no problem. Remember, we're also live in Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. Nigeria Info PH, that's the handle. That's NIGERIAINFO and then PH, right? So let's have your thoughts on that one. Keep your calls coming in. I've got Muriel is calling from Okrika. Let's hear Muriel's thoughts now on that one. Hello, Muriel.
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome, Muriel.
Thank you. Is the Africa woman on the line?
All right, welcome, Muriel.
Kalada, looking at the ministerial appointments, I now realize that there are so many persons that the president needs to compensate, and he has no other option than to just create more offices. Or is he trying to tell me that the reason why Nigeria has been going backward, why things have not been working, is because we don't have enough ministers? So creating more ministerial positions will not solve our problems. So okay, let all of us wait patiently and see how it goes. Maybe now that he has created, I really want to see the new portfolios. I want to hear. Will he be bringing us a portfolio for the poorest of the poor, Ministry of the poorest of the poor?
But like I said, Muriel,
definitely there will be new portfolios.
Muriel, now like I said,
I'm listening.
I drew your attention. I reminded you of what Femi Gbajabiamila did say at some point, where he said that certain ministries will be expanded. For instance, there is the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs that has other ministries attached to it. There is the Ministry of there's certain ministries that have got like 2 or 3 ministries inside of it, so they could expand it. And that's what they're going to do, not necessarily create new ministries.
So that means when they are expanding it, there will be a Ministry of States for a particular ministry. Then
so before it was Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and one other one. Then, for instance, Ministry of Finance and Budget Planning. There's also, so all of those things could be broken down. So maybe instead of having Ministry of Finance and Budget Planning, you will now have Ministry of Finance and then have Ministry of National Budget Planning.
It's okay, Kalada. Let's see if that will solve Nigeria's problem.
All right, then.
Okay, let's wait to see how it plays out.
All right, thank you
for Labour, Kalada.
Yeah, quickly,
the
please.
federal government wants only Labour to obey court orders. Why they refuse? Why they will not, right? What? Let's see how it goes through.
All right, thank you very much, Muriel. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome. Clinton, what's on your mind?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I have no problem with the number of persons in the cabinet.
Okay.
What Nigerians want is effective service delivery.
Okay.
We want good governance. So if this number of persons would give us what we desire as Nigerian citizens, Canada, no problem. Remember when Baja said that he's going to they're going to be unbundling of some ministries?
Yeah.
The era of super ministers and super ministries are long gone. So Nigeria, the federal government have no reason to fail Nigerians. No reason at all. Then secondly, Labour. Calabar, there's no reason for Labour not to call up their strike because the federal government have addressed what Nigeria is yearning for. And that's fixing of our refineries. So it is left for them now to fail us on December. Then we will now take a protest on that level. Thank you very much.
All right then. All right, thank you very much. Clement Ada George. Clement from Adojod, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Kalaba.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome.
Let me start with fixing our refinery.
Okay.
Let me also sound like it said, or that prophet of doom or prophet of whatever. That refinery will not work this December. It will not work.
All right.
Let me tell you.
So you're saying Labour, because we're not necessarily talking about the refinery, but that's one of the reasons Labour called off its strike or protest come strike. And are you saying Labour has made a mistake?
Labour. Do I really want to focus on Labour? Labour is another political party that seems to be shaking hands, liaising with whoever is in power. So putting like Nigerian life, in local politics, you just to play kalo. That is what happened between the Labour leaders and the president. So the refinery will not work.
So why do you think? I mean, I know in Nigeria we like to be on the opposing side. I know a lot of people expected Labour to go there and kick and fight and beat and argue with the president. But I mean, a voice of reason should be able to calm Labour down. Don't you agree with me on that one?
So is it by making promises that you cannot keep? There should be that things you can say. I listened to the president's broadcast. If you listen to that broadcast, it never was a refinery mentioned, not even the topic of refinery mentioned in his broadcast. So of course, he mentioned other good things that the Labour would have. But
Clement, don't you think that was an oversight, given that Mele Kyari, Tinubu Silva, who again? I think one other person had said that the refinery will work come December 2023. That's for Port Harcourt, and then Warri and Kaduna first quarter. Okay.
Nigerians are wiser and looking. See, there are things that should work. See,
okay, Clement, because I don't have enough time. What if it works? That's what I want to ask you. What if it works?
What if it work?
What if it works December 20th? What if?
Call me Clem. Remove men from my name.
All right then. Okay, thank you very much. I'm asking because the TUC chairperson, while on Channels TV yesterday, he said he was once the president of Pengasine, and he is very much aware of what is happening with the refineries. I mean, he was the one who said that Dangote's refinery is not yet ready, and even if it's ready, would not push more than 50% capacity. All right, so he was the one who said it yesterday, and various newspapers carried it. So he's saying that there's the possibility that it can work, and that's why they have called up the strike. I've got Daniel from Transamari. Daniel, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Nigerian Labour Congress and the suspension of the protest because of meeting of the president. I think that is where so many Nigerians have lost hope on them. I supported their protest. I was even saying that if I watch it, I have to watch from the side. If you continue, fine. Definitely so many people will join. Because now you said it clear. Fix refinery, revise the fuel price, fix the refinery before you remove the subsidy. Only you went to meet president, you come up from the meeting, you're saying that the president have promised to fix the refinery from now to December. Then why not tell the president, revise the price back?
Okay.
Revise it back. Then when you fix it, then we'll stop the protest. That is one of the reasons for the protest. Is to tell the president in his face, President, please revise the price back. December have just few months to go then, because I am very sure that the refinery will not work by that December. We have had these promises several times and the government have failed. If we have more failure of the government and their promise, then the issue of trust have to be questionable. So I don't think that I have to trust any federal government. In terms of the content of the Congo, look at it. The government that you have a president seated with you only come out, take you content of, meaning that they are not even serious. They were just trying to make you sure that everyone will be quiet for them to take the action. If over the years the Nigerians have no trust on the labor movement, and for the first time you want to bring the trust back, you will stand on it. Assuming that today they went on protest, more people will join. And if they have more people, they have more support tomorrow. And who are you going to cut our court? I mean, Nigeria president will surrender for me, and you see that. And tomorrow you want to do us, end us.
All right, then.
You don't do it to end people, not you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'll let you go now. I've got Ubed from Adidra. Ubed, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. What's on your mind, please?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Canada, for cat dispensation. Protest is one of the ingredients of democracy. So, as such, any percent professor will not see the light of the day.
But there's a court. There's a court injunction saying, "Hey, you can't go."
It's not for people not.
Oh, Obed, sorry, Obed, please do call back. I've got court. Court is calling from Joe back. Welcome. Let's go.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good
I
afternoon.
feel that Mr. President don't have the rule of law. You don't have respect for our constitution.
Why do you say so?
The National Assembly.
Where is it written? Is it written in the Constitution that there should be a particular number?
Our constitution got from us to produce one minister.
But we have seen
in our law the thing around and still there.
Court, if you can hear me. Court can hear me.
That suit from President is just because the federal government cannot continue to flip on the not to die.
Right. Thank you very much, Court. Your example, and I guess the connection is allowing you and I have a conversation. Number one, you talk about excess number of ministers, and ministers should reflect federal character. That it has to be from every state, but it did not say there is a limit or not. Except I stand to be corrected, by the way. But then talking about the second one, the court, or entertained a case between federal government and labor. Come and argue that XYZ, court in order and waits till we resolve this matter. And that's where the federal government is arguing from. You did not wait, and you've had to protest or choose or go on an industrial act, whichever one you like. But I've got Frank from D-Line. Frank, welcome on the show. Frank, let's talk. Yeah.
It's about the 47 listeners.
Okay.
Yes. The number is not my problem.
Okay.
If they can do okay for that. But if hello.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
So if they can solve immediate problem now, I'm happy with that. Whatever, even though he put it to free no problem, work on it, and he will compensate them.
All right.
Then for the job of the labor, I'll be honest, I think promise.
All right.
And I think the president will do his best. Thank you and bless you.
Thank you. I've got to read it.
Good afternoon.
Can I ask you?
What position are you there?
Subsidy or refinery? Are you talking about refinery or subsidy?
Refinery, sorry.
But I told you now. I told you that my opinion doesn't count here. My job is to let you know the current affairs and keep you abreast with conversations. My job is not to tell you my mind, or else I'll be biased, right?
I know. Yeah,
okay.
See, let me tell you. This is that the way they handle them, I think it's one of the ways to them. The angle of the assessment, they don't matter. Definitely, you're not ready. You're not ready on the matter.
So I need big emphasis on that. It's a good line. Is the number. Like which one?
Yeah, I want to say this. It's what the
yeah.
It's like opposition to the
so you want it now, but you want them to crash the economy entirely to point away.
What level do they change? Because people have already calling them bad name. So now say, oh, leave us make we just do one day. They just do that. We show us what we do.
Daniel from Imo, welcome back on the show.
Building of governance. My brother Kalada, I don't believe in that saying that the worst to wrap our heads around this kind of statement. You
Daniel, not entirely. During Abacha's time, the refinery were just 60% capacity, and even up to 50%. You spend it, and it didn't work. And they were like this continue until the finally collapsed.
Yes, but
Okay.
the military administrator of they have no deputy administrator.
So what's your point?
Deputy.
What's your
Creating all these local government. Why are the people of Nigeria enjoying their things?
Port Harcourt refinery to begin operations by December 2020, fine and good, but I'm not convinced going by the antecedent of the government of the past. However, I expected President Tinubu to detail Nigerians on the sequence order in which the 4 refineries will come up to life. Fiagbo Cleave, I think I've given that before. Wari Kaduna, split of 24, the first phase, December 2023, the refinery was made at Cosima. Why died? We'll never used to display Nigerians. The only reason for the modern foods, President Kola has been for have been met, on this Nigerians even fight for their salvation. Table cabinet, I see 47, all I see is 47 loyalists rewarding this government. We for all these Nigerians, we have started their life with this God like that, or they reach 70 salvation. Daniel from Zoba. Cost cutting is for the ordinary Nigerians, while spending is for government officials. And Rumikwe has got a say in there. Let's suspend strike is sure. And President told that about the hospital. Continue to mention anything about finding wages the Sunday. And continue compensate people that will in all the hand industry. Stay in Canada. How much that one? Ministers are much to me. We need to cut down expenses, farming budget. Adam says that not of ministers but was grasped into talking about the refineries. Why only Port Harcourt? What of the other 2 refineries? If Tinubu was serious, what about modular refineries? Why is Tinubu not talking about job creations, revamping Pan, Vaughan, Square, Ajakuta Steel, Basito Sugars, Oluwa Glass, etc., exploiting other natural resources? What is Tinubu doing about improving electricity? Nigerians don't believe these politicians because they have always told us lies and never done what they said. Was watching NLC president's mouth when asked what next, and he was talking, his lips were not steady, and I thought, I hope brown envelopes are not in action. Goodness. All right, goodness, thank you very much. And let's see, this one says they told us Dangote will start operations last month, just to find out it was propaganda. Someone said even the Dangote refinery will not work this December. Save the chat. and he let out a laughing emoji. Let's see this one. This one says Kaladako Rubatable. Please correct the statement you made about NLC, because NLC went on a protest and not a strike action like you stated. As for Bola Ahmed Tinubu having 47 ministers in his cabinet, if he likes, he should create more ministries equal to the number of his age. I don't care. Clinton, aka Mr. Fresh from Port Harcourt. But Clinton, if you listened, I called the protest come strike because I said there is no way the workers would have gone out for a protest without not going to work. So that when you strike, you don't go to work, right? So there is no way you would have gone for a protest. You say workers should go for a protest, and think about it. That's just technicalities. But moving on. Christian from Port Harcourt, the federal government was the one that violated the injunction first. Federal government went ahead to increase the price of PMS again from 5.30 to 6.17 in disregard of the court order. Labour only protested the further increment, and there was no injunction against protests. Christian Port Harcourt, that's an argument, but then they raised the price. Market forces did, and you wouldn't tell the men to increase without not sell a profit because there is a court order. Think about it from that angle. Okay, moving on. It's our opinion because people to bill should work the talk by fixing the Port Harcourt refinery, which will go a long way to reducing the suffering the Nigerians are facing now. He should keep to his words come December this year. Okay, from Rumigbo. Alright, so many messages, but it's time for another commercial break, and I would have to stop here. But on Facebook, Fire looks in, F-Boy says it is better to suspend the strike, because even if they continue, nothing good will come out of it. Thank God Ability Ategu says NLC and TUC protest was not a genuine protest. Where was NLC and TUC when Godwin and Emefiele came up with the Naira redesign that plunged the country into hardship? And Tamuno Itekena Dagogo says, I'm not a lawyer, but the little knowledge I have or think I have, a protest march is not a form of industrial action, has been claimed by the federal government. And then I must say the qualification of the lawyer filing the contempt charges against Labour must be carried. Lawyers cannot, because they are working for federal government, behave as if they lack basic knowledge of simple issues. The contempt charges an abuse of court process, and hope the judge finds the lawyer and the federal government. All right, commercial break.
You've got big dreams, but you know it'll take hard work, determination, and sweat to achieve them. That's why you need Dubai antiperspirant deodorant with 48-hour protection. Dubai keeps you unapologetically fresh and confident every day. Sweat it, don't smell it. Get Dubai antiperspirant deodorant today. Dubai is endorsed by the Nigerian Association of Dermatologists.
Are you into business and sales or offer any sort of service? Looking to connect with the public and potential clients? Then visit the sales and marketing team at our head office in Complex, Kilometer 16, East West Road, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Call Chinaturum on 0809-993-0147. Come, let's connect you to the world. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Wow, what's that? It's not a smell. It's a feeling.
Yeah, it's just like
Confidence.
just like power.
Like all day deodorant roll-on.
Like you!
Let your essence announce you. Buy your all-day roll-on today from stores near you.
You've got big dreams, but you know it'll take hard work, determination, and sweat to achieve them. That's why you need Dubai antiperspirant deodorant with 48-hour protection. Dubai keeps you unapologetically fresh and confident every day. Sweat it, don't smell it. Get Dubai antiperspirant deodorant today. Dubai is endorsed by the Nigerian Association of Dermatologists. You are tuned to your number one talk station, Nigeria Info. Welcome back to the show.
And now, hard facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, so I'm going to quickly do some more messages. Let's finish with the one on Facebook. Odina Kachuku Mori says, good afternoon, Nigeria Info. First story, Labour suspends strike is right in their sight as government is giving them another month or mouth-watering promise of fixing Port Harcourt refinery. This is after we are celebrating Dangote refinery. So what happened to the refinery? More so, the Port Harcourt refinery was appointed promise by the previous government. So what confidence does Labour have that this time the promise will be actualized? For the third story, Tinubu for me is not cutting cost of governance. He wants to have a large cabinet to the detriment of the Nigerian people at this point in time in Nigeria's economy. With the inclusion of 9 former governors, is dishing out political rewards. All right, let's see. Can I read one more before I go for the business news? Please, the court should arrest market forces for the protest. Christian Port Harcourt. I've got a lot of people who are very sarcastic on the show today. Let's see. This one says, Livinus Njoku from HA. Does it mean that every successful administration since the present democratic dispensation lack vision to set priorities? Where is the Abacha loot? Where is the money from excess crude sales? These should have been used to fix our refineries, knowing that petroleum products are critical to the economy. Labour stopping protest shows that they are not dependable and should not be taken seriously. Nelsie from Port Harcourt. All right, I would go for a break, then the business news. When I come back, Port Harcourt refinery will start Operation December 2023 will form the basis of our conversation, and I'll tell you why that will form the basis of our conversation. We're not necessarily going to talk about the refinery, but just in passing, so stay tuned.
This is 92.